today, and I'm so excited to be back with you. I've been doing a little bit of traveling. I just had a trip to the US to see my family, and it was so healing. You know, when you're around your siblings and you just feel like a kid again and you can be so free and so happy. That's how the last few weeks were for me. So I feel so recharged and just so healed, and I'm so happy to be back with you. I hope that you've enjoyed the last few weeks of videos. I definitely didn't want to leave you hanging, so those recorded videos all about life force energy and really just soaking into that creative energy to turn it back on. I hope that you enjoyed those. I loved reading your comments, and I'm so happy to have you back live where I can see your chats and I can see your questions, so welcome in, ladies. Okay, so today we are doing a video all about inner work chit chat. So I had posted a poll on my Instagram and asked, ladies, what are the topics that you want to see? What are the questions that you've been having? What are the areas that you want to dive deeper into? I've got some juicy questions here. I'm so excited to get into this video. And also a few announcements. First of all, I got a new phone, so I am praying that the sound quality is better. I upgraded my Wi-Fi. I tried using my camera. There's always this sound as if like a microphone is rubbing, and I want the quality to be the best of the best for you ladies. So please, can you let me know in the chat right now and let me know in the comments, how is the video quality? How is the sound quality? That's number one. I'm praying this works, because if this doesn't work, I don't know what to do. We're just gonna have to do retreats every week. And then second announcement, we finally have launched our new website and our new app. Ladies, I still can't believe this. We have an app. This is just so cool to me. I never thought that I would have an app and that we would have such like a beautiful and cute and girly aesthetic community to chat and to do the courses from. So ladies, thank you so much for all of your love and your feedback, how much you love the app, how much you love the new website. My team and I have been working on this since like December of 2024, and it took about 6 months to launch. And I'm just so grateful that it's here. I'm so grateful that you love it. And the two main reasons why I launched this new platform is, number one, I wanted more payment options for you ladies. The number one thing that I kept seeing as a block was that for all of my girls outside of the US and Canada, there was no pay over time option for the courses. So now you ladies have that. I am sorry, some countries don't have it available, but a lot more do. And then also, I just wanted a rebrand. I was craving a refresh. I felt like, you know what, I've changed so much as a woman since starting the Feminine Glow, I think 2 years ago now, and I wanted a website and an aesthetic that matched that. So it's not even a new year. I was gonna say new year, new us. New identity, new glow girls, okay? So I'm so happy that you love the platform. The link for the app is in the description below. You don't have to use the app, of course. It's just way easier to do the courses. My assistant tested it out, and I think she was doing a workout and turned her phone off to see if you can still play the courses. Kind of like how Shopify does it, where you don't need to, or Shopify, sorry ladies, I'm in my clothing line business right now. How Spotify does it, where you don't need to have your phone on watching a YouTube video. You can turn your phone off and listen to the Diary of a CEO podcast. I wanted that for the courses to make it as easy for you as possible. Now you can finally do that, and I'm just so excited. So thank you so much for all of your love and your feedback. Yay, we have an app. And the website is still the same. It's still thefeminineglow.com, but it's a new platform, and it's like new colors, new fonts, all of that. So I'm really excited. And okay, one more quick announcement before we dive into the questions. A moment of appreciation for you ladies. Ladies, this morning I was about to cry. I opened up TikTok, and one of the glow girls had posted a video, and she goes, I don't know why Alexis doesn't have more followers. She deserves millions and millions. And she goes, this woman has changed my life. Ladies, if any of you could listen to someone, please let it be her. I'm just watching her. I'm feeling her energy. Like, I'm seeing how excited she is, how impacted she is. And I just wanted to cry. I felt so overwhelmed with happiness and love and gratitude. So ladies, I just have to say thank you. I truly don't tell you thank you enough. Thank you for choosing to be in this community, and for every message that you send to me, every post that you make. And Every time that you decide to do inner work, change your family, change your relationships, I am so honored that I get to be a part of the journey. I think you ladies give me way too much credit. It's not me, it's you. It's you choosing to tune into this type of content and to learn how to change the wiring of your mind, to learn how to shift your energy and to set those boundaries and to regulate your nervous system. Like, all of that is you making the choice to be the best version of you. And I couldn't be more proud. Okay, now let me not get too emotional here. Let's get into this live. So I do have some questions that I'm going to take first because these were from my girls on Instagram from the poll, and there's some that I'm so excited to answer. But also, I am going to check this chat here. So if you want to throw your questions in, please feel free. Let me see. How is this sound? I miss you ladies too. Thank you, thank you. It's good? Ah, yay! Okay, from my end, I'm frozen right now. I don't know what's happening. Let's see. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, let's get into this, ladies. We're gonna start off with the juicy one. So we're talking about money, we're talking about dating and men, we're talking about stiffness in the body, nervous system regulation, so many great questions, confidence, loving your body, all of this. So there was a few questions about money and abundance. And we're not going to spend too much time here because I do have specific videos on this already. But I posted a video on TikTok last week, and the video was to an audio clip from a YouTube video that I was watching by my favorite financial teacher. You ladies know this, Myron Golden. And he had said this in a YouTube video. My jaw dropped. I was like, I have to share this with the girls. He says, if you are making less than $20,000 a month, oh, wait, please don't tell me that I'm messing this up. Oh yeah, okay, sorry, let me restart. He goes, if you are making less than $20,000 a month, it's not a good idea for you to be watching television. Why are you watching someone else live their dream while you're living a nightmare? Right? I was like, this man is so savage. So I took that sound and I posted it on my TikTok. And I said, I think this is so excellent. There was so many triggered comments, and I was so happy for that because the times that my relationship with money has changed is when I was so triggered by what I was seeing online. And I will say, you don't need $20,000 a month to sit down and say, okay, I can watch television tonight. But I think the deeper message there is, how are you using your time? If you are not living your dream life, if you don't have the type of income where you can fully relax and go on a trip tomorrow, help your family member if they're in the hospital, is it really the best idea to be tuning into a fake reality that doesn't even exist? So that really made me think. And why I bring this up is because there was one specific comment that I saw that I think was so powerful, and it was a reaction to a trigger. And she had said, who needs that kind of money? $20,000 a month, that's so greedy, that's way too much money for anyone to have. And I thought, I totally understand this. Why a lot of women are blocked from making money, especially high amounts of money, like 20 grand a month, is because they think that money is an opportunity only for them to have a good life. The block is thinking money is only for you. Because of course, if that $20,000 is only for you, yeah, it can seem like, maybe this is too much, why do I need all this money? But what about the impact that that money could have on your family? What about the impact that receiving that amount of money could have on everyone around you who sees you show up and go, how is she so rested and relaxed? She's not stressed about bills. She's not stressed about this economy right now. The block of thinking that money is only for you will stop your future kids from having an upbringing where they don't have to worry, are we going to have food to eat tonight? It can keep you out of relationships. It can keep you out of jobs where you are being abused, where you are being disrespected, where you are settling because you have to. Why I get so passionate about teaching women how to start a business, how to be financially free, not just financially free, but financially abundant, to have the type of money where you can go, yeah, I don't need to check the price of this flight, it's booked. Okay, yeah, I can take time off work and go on this trip next week with my friend. I want you ladies to have that type of money because it is the most powerful thing that you can do for your feminine energy. To be so relaxed, to be so free, to have the whole world become yours. Doors open, opportunities are unlocked. If I were on a trip and let's say I was in the US and I was with my family and I thought, oh, I really, really want to stay one more day with my family. Now, thank you God, I have the opportunity to do that because I'm not tied down to an income of a small amount because I thought, who needs that kind of money? That's too greedy. Myron Golden also made this point in another video. He goes, we want to optimize the best in every single area of our life. Our relationships, we make it the best. Our health, we make it the best. Best nutrition, best workout plans, best supplements. Why in the world would we not make our income the best? Every other area, we want to strive for the best. With your relationships, you go, nope, I just want a relationship that's okay. I don't need it to be perfect. I don't need it to be exceptional. I don't need it to be the most passionate, romantic, safest love. I just need it to be all right. Just someone to go to bed with that night. No, and if you are doing that, please watch every single video that I have. And I promise by the end of that, you are going to crave that polarity and that relationship and that side of yourself that realizes there's so much power in having someone that can be by your side, that you can connect with, that can reflect back and trigger you to be the best version of yourself. Because you realize that actually it's fear that keeps you from wanting to stay the same. A lot of questions I got about how come I can't find the right partner, how come I sabotage the right partner, it's fear. Because you feel more comfortable staying the same, staying in your perfect bubble, getting to go home, to your apartment, without anyone to trigger you or to call you to be the best version of yourself. And so, why am I blocked with money? Could you be the block? Could it be because you're settling, trying to stay humble, but that humility is actually a mask for your fear of being the next version of yourself? What you could do with $20,000 could change the world. And even if it doesn't change the world, it could change your family. Isn't that incentive enough? So stop thinking about money as being something that's greedy. If you do, I highly encourage you, take a look at my Gold Vault program. That's my money program. The first thing I do with the ladies in there, the very first inner work, lesson 1. We need to pull up the beliefs that are teaching you that money is bad, that the energy of money is bad. And there's so many beliefs that I help the ladies pull out because a lot of them we can't even see. They're so ingrained in us from what our parents have taught, from what society has taught. If you want to even be open to receive money, to have 10K months, 20K months, you have to pull out the roots that are keeping you from feeling like money is safe to have, from feeling like money is a good thing. Money does not have energy. You have energy. And money will reflect the energy that you have. So you don't need to be scared of it. You can welcome it. And that's what I'm going to say on this topic, money and abundance. And also another tip for my content creators is remove the focus off of yourself and your business will grow. I had this wake up where I was thinking, why I'm so nervous to speak sometimes or so scared to make videos because it's all about me. How am I going to look online? Who's going to criticize me? When I said, this isn't for me. This is for my glow girls. This is for the women that God has put in this community. It became so much easier to show up and start speaking freely because it's not about how do I sound, did I do a good job? No, it's about the impact that it's having for you. So my advice for content creators is remove the focus off of yourself, put it on other people. You will always see more success that way. I had a video that I posted last week and there was a part that I forgot to edit out. I was like this. I said something and then I went back to my notes. I totally meant to edit this out. It was like 10 seconds of me messing up. That would have crippled and destroyed me years ago. Because years ago I was so focused on views and how can I get the most popular videos? How can I get the most influence? Now I crave impact more than influence. Impact more than the size of a platform or the type of platform. Now I'm able to go, okay, I messed up. Oh well. The girls got to see that. Someone goes, that was the cutest mess up ever. Thank you, ladies. For me, I didn't feel so cute, but I let it go because it's not about me. If I mess up, yeah, maybe it's a little bit embarrassing for a few seconds, but what I do when I feel embarrassed like that is I let the embarrassment run through my body, and I think, I'm only embarrassed because I believe that this is embarrassing. What if I chose to believe it's not embarrassing? I'm human, I messed up. I was trying to prepare for my family trip, forgot to cut that out when I was editing all my videos. Oh well, the rest of the message is still powerful. So that's the type of mentality that you need to have as a content creator if you want to be able to keep creating without being so burnt out by anxiety. Okay. Yes. A little tough love is always good. Yes, ma'am. Oh, ladies, I've so missed the lives with you too. It's so good to be back. I don't have any travel plans for a while, so I'll be here with you. Okay, so I had other questions that I wanted to answer first, but this one is just really speaking to me right now. We're gonna do a complete topic change right now. Talk about dating, talk about men. There were so many questions about dating, but there was one specific question that I got twice within the span of like 30 minutes. So I thought, okay, I really need to cover this one. And the question was, what behaviors or habits close me off to men and close me off to signaling interest in men? This is such a good question because both of the ladies that asked me this, I think they have the ultimate self-awareness and the ultimate openness to want to grow. Like, what am I doing that's blocking me off? It's not, how come all these men are bad options? How come the city that I live in sucks? It's, what is in my energy that is blocking these opportunities for relationships from happening? Excellent. Like, this is why I love you, ladies. This just feels so good to talk about. A few things. Lack of eye contact. And why we don't have strong eye contact. You know when you see a man that you're very intrigued by and you look at him, but then you can only hold it for half a second? Why the body does that is because there is some nervous system dysregulation that's going on. There's a little bit of that fight or flight, a little bit of panic, of anxiety in the body. And what I think this stems from is sometimes feeling unworthy, sometimes feeling a need to control the outcome, and why a lot of type A women, a lot of oldest daughters, me, struggle with relationships and that juiciness and that excitement with men is because at our core, there's that whisper, we need to control this situation. And the one area that you cannot control this with is with love. So why love is so scary for us is because we can't control it. But that is the most beautiful thing for our feminine energy, is when we get into this mode of, okay, I'm releasing all control, let's just see what happens. Even if you are the most uptight, like scheduled, structured woman alive, there is this pleasure that comes from releasing the control, and it feels so good. It changes your life. So if you can learn to release control, if you can practice it in other areas and feel comfortable with it, you are going to feel more comfortable with men and with signaling to them that you're open to love. Because ultimately, when your belief is that I'm open for love, I don't need to control the outcome, whatever happens, happens, your body will start sending those cues, like the strong eye contact, the pushed back shoulders, the head and neck being tall. It will literally turn your neck to see different people because your belief is, I'm open to this. I'm obsessed with neuroscience, like absolutely obsessed. And I taught this concept in the Master Your Feminine Energy program. It's called confirmation bias. It constantly fascinates me. Every single day, I'm like, every single person in the world needs to know this. Your brain will only receive what you believe. What is the science behind that? So every belief that you have, your brain will scan your environment to look for signs of evidence that confirm that belief. So if your belief is, there's no tall men where I live, your brain and your eyes, they will constantly scan the cafes, the gyms. They will look for evidence to confirm your belief that tall men don't exist in your city. So what is happening here is almost these blinders get put on your eyes, because for your brain, if it does see evidence that goes against its belief, it's like a red flag going off. It's like alarm bells in your brain going, wait a second, this threatens our belief. This actually threatens our identity. Your brain will do everything to protect your identity. That's why it's so hard to stretch that rubber band, because it's stretching your identity. That's why it's so hard to go from 5K months to 10K months sometimes, because your brain is going, can we survive if we are this woman making 10K a month? We don't know if we quite have this belief. I was teaching this to some of my students. I think it was either in the Glow Print or the Gold Vault. And I was saying how it was so much easier to go from me having $10,000 months to having $100,000 months than it was to go from whatever I was making, like $1,200 a month for my old job, to 10K months. The 10K to 100K was so much easier for me. Why that was is because my identity was a woman. I can hold large amounts of money. I had done so much of that inner work to ingrain that in my belief system. But when I was struggling, when I was still working for a boss and I was broke, I was on government support, 10K months seemed so far away. I didn't have the belief that I was a woman that could hold large amounts of money. So that's what I mean when I say your brain, it will cancel out evidence, even though I had opportunities to make $100,000 in a month when I was at the job, but I could not see them, because that would have threatened my belief that I couldn't hold large amounts of money, which would have threatened my identity, ultimately threatening my survival. This is why the more that I have studied and learned about feminine energy since college, and also studying science and psychology, I thought this is where they connect, because I understood feminine energy comes alive the more you understand how the brain works. When you understand how the brain works, you can hack it, you can train it, you can change the wiring of it to think differently. Now your feminine energy reflects that. So when I thought, oh, I'm only stiff in my body because I've been taught, or I've had trauma that's blocked in my body, I thought, okay, let me heal this. Let me change the wiring of my belief to teach my body it's safe to move freely. Then when I started changing my brain, my feminine energy changed completely. My energy lightened up, my voice changed, my body movements changed. So with men, and when you are out, I'm gonna say out in the wild, out in your wild environment, and your brain is scanning, make sure your beliefs are, I am only available for high quality masculine men, tall men, healthy men, fit men, emotionally intelligent men, wealthy men. These are the men that I'm available for, and they exist everywhere. All I have to do is show up. When that is your belief, every environment you step into, it will be a very enjoyable day for you. Also, something happened for me one time where I thought, this is one of those moments that's going to change my life, because I don't like this. I had to learn, everyone always asks, how did you learn about feminine energy? I learned through experiences and through broken hearts. That's how I learned. Not just broken hearts in relationship, but seeing ways in my life that I was showing up and going, that's not my authentic self. Let me play with this. Let me change this. It's truly from observing life and having experiences in life. That is how you'll learn about your feminine energy. One time, this man told me at the gym. So I met this man at the gym and we ended up going out on a date. And he told me, I was really surprised when I started talking to you and found out that you were single. And I said, oh, okay. And then he goes, I just never thought that we would be here. And I asked him, why is that? He goes, because you were very serious in your energy. And I looked at you and I thought, oh, she's definitely married, has a couple of kids, some dogs. I was like, what? It was one of those wake-up calls for me where I thought, because I can't see myself at the gym, let me take this as a sign to be self-aware, be a bit triggered, like, am I that serious? But I had to learn from that, and I had to play and lighten up that energy, because there are some days where I want to be serious. I don't want men to come up to me. I want to go in, get my workout done. But then there's other days where I want my energy to be open and to receive and to interact. Just last week, my energy felt so open at the gym. I was just kind of looking around, very present. And a woman comes up to me. She goes, are you Alexis? And I thought, no way, are you a glow girl? And we hugged and talked. And she goes, I wasn't sure if it was you. I didn't want to disturb your workout. If I was still in this like ultimate serious energy, I don't know if she would have come and said hello. And can you imagine how many interactions and experiences you miss because your energy is so guarded and protected? This is my favorite thing to break off of women when I'm working with them in the courses and one-on-one coaching, is when they come to me, usually they'll say, I'm having trouble with this, but what I see is their energy is guarded. They're protecting something. They feel that vulnerability has been attacked and misused in the past. And it's my favorite thing to help kind of make that feel safe again and to gently let them see you're guarding your feminine energy. You're operating from the masculine because you don't feel safe to have the open heart. So an open heart is going to be key in signaling to men that you are open and available. Of course, if you are. If you're married, if you're in a relationship, your energy can be different. And also, you don't have to always be open and available. There's days, certain days of the month, I'm like, nope, I'm not talking to you men today, okay? Just gonna be me on my walks, me with my friends, I don't wanna interact. So really connect to what your body needs and honor that. And then next I wanna talk about what to do when you do this step and men come and approach and those conversations start, because this can be a little bit scary at first. First of all, remember that feminine energy is always leaned back a little bit, always leaned back. If you haven't done the Master Your Feminine Energy program, I highly recommend that one. It is the foundation for every other course, and everything that I talk about in this program, it's this, but even deeper. So I talk about the idea of leaning back. And in a conversation, when a man approaches you and you guys are talking, there's going to be a point where either he asks you out or I kind of think of it as like closing a deal, where he either asks for your information or he asks you out. So in this moment, you have a choice. You can match his energy 100%. You can be like, yeah, I'm open, here's my number, blah, blah, blah. Or you can do what I love. I think this is the playful feminine, where you can lean back a little bit. And I want you to say something like, okay, I think I wrote something that was good. Okay, yeah, I want you to say something like, I usually don't talk to strangers, but I'll make an exception for you. Or I usually don't give my neighbor out to men who are here later than 9 a.m. at the gym, but I'll make an exception for you. Use that flirt and that fun and that playfulness, because what you are doing is you are saying yes with your body, but with your words, you're giving him a challenge. This is like catnip for the masculine energy. They love it because they love and they crave, they thrive off of a challenge. When you make it easy for them, yeah, here's my number, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's good, of course, but it's great when you can play a little bit. Yes, your body is saying yes, but your words, maybe they're contrasting that. And when men can't quite figure out who you are, what your answer is, how much you like him, he has to work. He has to awaken his masculine energy and pursue. He has to do some work for you. The more that men work for you, the more they fall in love with you. From the beginning, establish with him, he's going to work for you. And you're going to be the one that's leaned back in your feminine energy. I am a big believer that how the relationship starts impacts the rest of the relationship. Of course, you can always change it. You can have one day where you wake up and you change your energy and your identity, and it can shift the relationship completely. But it's a lot easier from the beginning to start off in your feminine and to establish, I'm only available for a man in his masculine. So if you're not going to be in your masculine, you're not going to see me. So that kind of energy, playful, tease a little bit. Okay, that magnetically polarizing energy. There was a time where there was a guy, he was 6'6". This man was so tall, this beautiful man. And we're talking a little bit, and then in the conversation, I say to him, too bad I only date men who are 6'7" and above. Because we had already talked about his exact height, he knew that I knew he was 6'6". His reaction was, it was everything. Like, I wish that I could have captured it and replayed it. Can you ladies imagine? I just have like this little camera for every interaction. No, I would never do that. Especially in Dubai, it's illegal to film people, so definitely not. I feel like I have to say that for legal purposes. And when I said, too bad I only date men who are 6'7" or above, it was such like it shifted our interaction so much, because even though I was saying yes with my eyes, it was saying no with my mouth, and it's that contrast. And that's where it activates his masculine. He's like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know if it's a yes or a no, so I need to do some work. When men aren't doing any work, they fall back a bit into this cruise mode, like this autopilot, where they're not flying the plane anymore. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be on that plane when it's only autopilot. I want them to be navigating and steering in every direction. And so just like the woman is the neck and the man is the head, you are the one that is controlling the destination of where the plane lands. And you're the one that can either turn him off where he goes into autopilot, or you can say, you better steer this plane, or you're not going to land at the destination that you want to land at. So yeah, I love this topic. I could just talk about this all day with you ladies. I love all of the dating questions. Let me see if there's any questions that are coming up related to this in the chat. Okay. This is so funny because I was debating if I was going to share this on YouTube. There is a course idea that I have. I have not made a course, like a new course, since last year, 2024. And this one has just kept coming to me and coming to me. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready. But the more that, every day that passes, God gives me confirmation, like, you need to do this. So I'm just gathering research right now, you could say. So I love all these questions and comments. Welcome, Sarah. Oh, the trip to the US was so good. Thank you for asking, ladies. I haven't been home to see my family since December. And I miss them so much. Every time I go back to the US, if you're new, I'm currently living in the Middle East. I live in Dubai right now. And it takes me 24 hours to get back home to see my family. It is so worth it. Every single hour of that flight. It's not one flight, it's like a few broken down. But every time I'm there, I think, should I move back to the US? But I really feel God is telling me, no. That's moving back to your comfort zone, and I have taken you out of your comfort zone. I need you to stretch. I need you to be in Dubai because I have something for you here. I feel that so strongly. But there's a comfort of the US. It's the healthy snacks that they have that I can't get here. It's hugging my family and friends, that oxytocin release every day. It's the blue skies. There's just a warmth and a friendliness of Americans that I really miss when I'm not there. So it was really nice to be back. All right. Thank you so much, ladies. I love it. Okay, how to feel good to flirt. I actually just made a video talking about this. Let me see if I can find that video for you and put it in the chat. It was about flirting, but why I want you to watch this video rather than me answer it right now is because it's flirting. At the core of it is inner work to know how to be rested with your nervous system. Because if you don't feel rested, you won't know how to flirt. If I was anxious, I wouldn't be able to think of something flirty and cute to say to a man. I would think, okay, I don't know if I can survive right now. Like, I'm mentally outrunning this bear, right? And so I'm constantly thinking, what can I do to just get by? And I don't want to just get by partner. I want I'm rested, I'm relaxed. I have time to choose from the best of the best. That's the belief and the mindset that you want to have. What was this video called? Ladies, if you remember, would you mind typing it in the chat? Okay, yes. It's called Step Up Your Flirt Game and Love Life, Oozing Feminine Energy Masterclass. I will make a note to put this in the description for you, ladies. All right. Okay, we've answered 2 questions. It's been 35 minutes. Let me keep this rolling. uh, how to detach and not obsess over someone. Let's talk about this one next. Here's what I want you to know, ladies. If you are dating right now, if you're not in a relationship and you want to be, I'm going to give you this advice and it's going to change your life. If your dating life does not feel like you are on The Bachelorette, you're doing it wrong. If you don't feel like you are this queen with men on your list that are waiting to take you out, excited to get to know you, in their masculine energy, not caring that there's other men involved because they have their eyes on you, they are so eager to pursue you. If that's not how it feels, you're doing the dating life wrong. And I want to help you because this used to be me. Even in the video where I'm talking about flirting, this was talking about overcoming the good girl mask. I talked about how when I first started dating multiple men at the same time, it was so scary for me because I had been introduced to that concept. This was a couple years ago, and I thought, I don't know if this is for me to go on a date with a guy one night and then the next night I'm going out with someone else. I don't know. It felt so wrong. But I had to realize that my grandma used to always say this too, you're single until you're married. And I would think, Grandma, you're crazy. But now I really do see that if you go on one date with someone, you're not in a relationship. You do not owe them loyalty. But I had it so in my mind, like, they can't see me out on this other date. I'm gonna get in trouble, right? I shared all the inner work around getting in trouble and how I was mind blown. That was still a part of my nervous system. And so once you realize that you are free to date whoever, whenever you want, when you're not in a committed relationship, you will start dating differently. You need to look at it as, I have all these options and may the best man win. Not, I hope I'm his favorite option. I hope he picks me. No, this is not The Bachelor. This is The Bachelorette. This is why I do like the show The Bachelor, but I cringe watching it because something about the idea of having one man with like 20 women fighting for him doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't. Because that's not how it has ever meant to be in our biological history. And it makes these women go crazy because we're not meant to compete with other women for our husband. We are meant to be the queen that's seated on the throne and the men competing for us. That is how we're biologically designed. Just like the sperm chases the egg, not the other way around. And so when we're going against our human nature, how God has designed us, there's going to be chaos, which is why The Bachelor has so much drama. Catcalling, drinking, going crazy, tears. It's like, sperm chases the egg. Now we're talking. So I like The Bachelorette because I think that's actually how feminine and masculine energy works. So if your dating life doesn't feel like The Bachelorette, watch The Bachelorette, get some inspo, and get good friends who will keep you accountable. But also on this note, why I even bring that up is because when you start treating your dating life like that, not, I hope he picks me, but do I want to pick him? Do I like him? Or do I like how this guy is treating me better? When that is your mindset, you can detach from men so easily because you are not trying to be picked by them. When a man has shown you he is not picking you, it should turn you off and go, this isn't going to be a very good outcome for my future kids if I stay with this man. So gross, goodbye, you're gone. And also, if you have time to check up on him, if you have time to constantly think about him for hours of the day, why is he not texting me back? Who's he with? Why did he ghost me? Blah, blah, blah. You do not have a hobby or a business that you need to have. You should not have 4 or 5 hours a day to be thinking about this man. If you do, time to get a new hobby. You can join our Glow Girls book club. You can begin doing inner work. You can start a business. You have to remove your energy off of him because he can feel it. You need to put it back on yourself if you want to detach from him. Your life has to be so full and complete that he is just a part of it. I saw this video on TikTok that I think it was so well done. This woman was saying she can always tell when a woman is a girlfriend versus she's a woman with a boyfriend. And she said it and it just clicked for me. A woman with a boyfriend, her boyfriend is a part of her life, but he's not her entire life. Versus a girlfriend, her whole life, her whole way of thinking, every decision of the day, it revolves around him. She has made him this king that's sitting on a throne. Versus, I am a queen, he's also a king, so I have to go respect his mission, but because I also have another important mission as a queen. And then we come together and we are a power couple. She's not constantly bringing him into every conversation. She's not constantly texting him all day. What I see going on when a woman makes that switch is she has gone from the anxious attachment style to secure. I also talk about this in Master Your Feminine Energy. When you are anxious, you let someone consume your life. Every thought revolves around them. And you feel that your worth and your emotional state is dependent on them. Versus when you're secure, yes, it does sting to get ghosted. It does sting to go through a breakup. But you also know, I'm okay. This person did not define me. Yes, my emotional state, it might dip for a little bit, but it's gonna come back up because they never controlled it in the first place. I am the one with that control and that power. That is how you detach from someone. Start treating your dating life like the Bachelorette. Get a life that's so full and complete you don't have time to be obsessing over this man. And get grossed out when he has shown you disrespectful behavior. When he has detached from you, if you think about it like this, you guys are magnets, right? The polarity. If the masculine energy has pulled away and now you are leaning towards him, you guys have switched roles. He's in the feminine, you're in the masculine. Ask yourself, does this feel good for my feminine energy to be chasing him? Does this feel good to be picking a man that has not picked me? Does this feel good to be giving my precious life force energy, my time, my energy, my attention, that I could be building $1 million business with, that I could be investing in my actual future husband, in my best friends in the world? Does it feel good to take this juicy energy and be giving it to him? When you can say out loud, no, this doesn't feel good, your brain goes, oh, why are we doing this then? And it starts to help you detach. All right, let me drink my tea before my voice is gone. Anytime I film a video, if I go out the same night, I have to tell him, I'm like, I have half my voice capacity right now. I was very passionate earlier. I don't know what it is. Like, I always lose my voice when I start talking here. All right, let's see. Hello from Bali. Ooh, girl, hello. Hello from South Africa. South Africa, you guys have my favorite accent. I think it's so beautiful. It's so feminine. The Bachelor is still on TV. I stopped watching that 20 years ago. Girl, yup. Sadly. Yes, I also, ladies, have a video all about attachment styles. Actually, it's mostly focused on the anxious attachment style, and it's called Let's Heal Your Attachment Style. So search up Let's Heal Your Attachment Style, awwlexis, if you need help in that area. Hello from the UK, from Kenya, from Finland. Ladies, I love this international pool today. It's so beautiful. Okay, what would you do if you find a man that has many qualities that you were looking for, but the religion aspect is not matched? He is atheist. For me, that's an absolute deal breaker. Because I've been in a relationship where we were not matched with our faith, it does not work. There's a reason why in the Bible, God says, do not be unequally yoked with your partner, with your husband. Where that saying equally yoked originates from is when I think it was a donkey or a mule, when they are pulling something behind them, let's say that they're pulling a carriage and there's two donkeys pulling it. Well, they have a yoke right here that is keeping them moving. If one donkey is moving very, very fast in this direction, but one donkey, maybe they're older and they're moving slow, how can the carriage move? The donkeys, there's a lot of friction going on. It cannot move forward. This is why I love the Bible, because it's literally the blueprint for everything. God says, do not get in an unequally yoked relationship, because you will go like this. Friction, chaos, arguments, the relationship cannot move forward. If you guys have the same foundation, you are rooted in Christ, now you can move forward. Every single argument and problem in my last relationship, I'm Christian, he didn't have a faith. It was ultimately, we had a difference in values. And even I've dated men here who are Muslim. I thought maybe it could work. Like, we both believe in a God, right? It doesn't work, because there's values that Islam teaches versus Christianity teaches that are different. When it would come time to raise our kids, when it would come time to make important decisions, how can we agree on a decision when Islam teaches something completely different about marriage than what Christianity teaches? There's always going to be friction. And so even, this is the harsh truth too, even if a man is Christian and you are Christian, but you are very close to God, you're very passionate about your faith, and he isn't, that's still unequally yoked. So it is very important to be with a partner who shares the same faith as you. That is my opinion on that. Atheist, it would not work for me. Definitely not. But also, I have friends who, when they met their partners, neither one of them had a faith. And now they both are Christian. So anything can happen. It's very important to be close with God and to pray and to hear his word, because the more that you read his word, you hear his voice. The more you hear his voice, the more you know where to go when you have these types of questions. Okay. Let's see. Let's talk about this question, because this one is similar. How to know if something is from God. So my favorite way to do this is to ask. But it's not just asking. It's not just asking God, can you tell me if this is from you? Let's say this partner. It's asking, God, please remove this person if they're not from you. I don't know what it is about this prayer, ladies, but this is the one prayer God has always delivered. Amazon Prime delivery, like not next day delivery, that night delivery. Always, always, always. And I think it's because he's such a girl dad. He protects our vulnerability as feminine beings by removing people, and I feel like he almost makes it a bit easier for us than men. He will answer us differently. So that's my number one way to know, is to ask him to take it away if it's not. You can also ask God, please speak through people. Please tell me a Bible verse to go to. Sometimes he'll whisper something to you and you have to make sure that you are open enough to hear it. There's been times where God says, turn off the music, Alexis, or turn off the podcast. Even if it's worship music, sometimes he has something that he needs me to sit in and to realize, or something that he wants to whisper to me, but I have all these distractions going on and he needs me quiet so that I can hear. So that's another aspect too. Let's see. The good thing too, though, is God uses everything for his will and for his purpose. So I do notice in myself sometimes there's a little bit of anxiety being Christian. I think, is this the right choice? Is this the right choice? I don't know. But I have to remind myself, Alexis, you can slow down. God's not looking for perfectionism. He's looking for your heart. So I'm not focused on, is this the right decision, as much as I am, is my heart aligned to what God wants? Is my heart in tune with him rather than my own desires? So for example, my last relationship, I prayed, God, is this from you? Guess what I felt in my body? Panic. Even when that partner and I would talk about marriage, I felt panic, ladies. I was like, this just doesn't feel, I didn't feel peace. And I asked God, okay, can you please remove the partner? He did. Then there was a point where I thought, no, I don't think this is from God. I don't think this is from God. Even if you go back to something, or if you feel like, oh, I kept this along too much. God told me to not have this business, but I kept running it for years and years. God told me not to have this friend, but I still text them from time to time. Be careful not to fall into too much anxiety with that, and don't beat yourself up, because the last thing God wants is for you to feel shame. That is not from God. Shame is never from God. He wants you to feel that love. And so it's so important to remember that there's grace. God he just wants our hearts. Like, he's his father saying, my daughter, my son, I just want you to come to me. Don't worry that you messed up again and again and again and you didn't listen. What's important is you are listening now and your heart is open now. Yeah, I wrote down Christian anxiety because I think there's a lot of it. And for my girls who are Muslim, Jewish, even if you don't have a religion, I feel like there's almost this sense of anxiety, like, am I following everything perfect? Am I doing it according to what I believe is right? Please remember that the focus, when it's on your heart, that is the most important thing. I was reading this research article yesterday, and it was talking about how the electromagnetic field of our heart is 5,000 times stronger than that of our brain. And this is also why when someone enters the room, we can feel their mood. We can feel it, but our brain, it doesn't know why can we feel it. They haven't said anything that tells me they're in a bad mood. The electromagnetic field of the heart is very sensitive and can feel that energy. It's also why a lot of the times you feel like something happens before it actually happens, before you ever see it or hear about it happening. The heart knows. So I think there's so much beauty in the heart. I might have to make a whole other video on this. Okay, also I got a lot of questions about survival mode. I have a whole YouTube video on survival mode, so I'm not going to talk about it here, but I will link it for you ladies after the live stream is done. I also talk about this in Master Your Feminine Energy, because if you are in survival mode, your feminine energy will always be disconnected. You have to be safe and rested in your body in order to even turn on your feminine energy. The more rested you are, the higher your feminine energy can be. Let's see. Also on this topic, there was a question about stiffness in the body. So how do you release stiffness in the body? What I want you to start doing if you feel stiff. I used to be so stiff, and I've told this story a long time ago on YouTube. I haven't talked about it recently. Growing up, my sister was such a good dancer, my little sister. She was just so free and fluid, and I always thought, oh, I want that, but I just feel like I feel nervous and uncomfortable. Oh, also after this, we're gonna talk about body acceptance, loving your appearance, not ending comparison. We have to talk about this. I promise I won't forget. But I would compare myself to my sister and think, how come she can dance so good? And my sister, she would make fun of me. Alexis, you don't know how to twerk. You're so bad at it. You're so stiff. And I thought, oh, why is it like this? And we've talked about it as we've gotten older, and she's seen me dancing now. She's like, what changed? This was a few years ago. And I told her, girl, it's inner work. It's not even taking dance classes. It's not anything like that. It's an internal shift before the external shifts. So I started doing these little things. Like, this was beginning of my inner work journey. Like, I was maybe 19, 20 years old. And at church, when we would sing, I always wanted to be like those people around me who would put their hands in the air. They'd be like, hallelujah. But I was so uncomfortable. My hands were like glued to my side. And so one day I'm like, let me just try it. I'll just go like this. And then it moved to this. Then it moved to this. And so I practiced feeling uncomfortable moving my body in ways that I wasn't used to. in conversations rather than having my phone in my hand, or even walking into a coffee shop and having my phone in my hand. Put my phone in my purse. My hands are just going to be empty. Practicing being uncomfortable with your body is how you become less stiff. It is going to be life-changing for you. Every day, I want you to do something that makes you uncomfortable. Whether it's the way you move your body, the way you talk. Yesterday, what I did that made me uncomfortable a little bit is my girlfriends here in Dubai. I love them. They are these two Brazilian girls, and we always meet up and do our work together and just girl chat, then get back to work on our laptops. So yesterday, we met up, and my friend Raissa always calls my friend Natalia in Portuguese. She calls her Nanatinha. And I think it's so cute. And so I asked her, I said, how do you say that? I want to start calling Natalia that. And so they're practicing with me. They're like, you need to get the ni and the the nana. And I felt so uncomfortable because Portuguese, I don't know Portuguese at all. I know Spanish and English, and that's it. And so practicing calling my friend Natalia, we've always called Natalia, calling her Nanatinha. It felt so good, but so uncomfortable. And for me, I love giving my friends nicknames. I love when we can call each other like cute names and like, hey girl, hey sister, things like that. I didn't always feel comfortable calling my friends with a nickname. And also they didn't feel that with me. We've had to practice with each other, and it brings this intimacy to a relationship. It's like calling your partner honey or baby. Like, it just feels so good. But at first, it's a little uncomfortable. Are they gonna be okay with this? Do I sound weird saying this name? But that is where the growth happens, because you teach your body it's safe to do new things. Always. Ladies, sorry, give me 1 second. Let me see if this is important. Okay, do you mind holding this? I'll go grab it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, it's a US number, that's why. Yeah. Thank you, I appreciate it. Do you have a water, by the way? Yes, of course. Give me 1 second. Yes, have a nice day. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for waiting, ladies. I feel so bad for the delivery guys here because it is 115 degrees in Dubai. And when they come, I need to give them water. Otherwise, they're going to pass out. So thank you so much for waiting. Where were we? Stiffness, I think. Oh, I'm trying to think. There was something that I wanted to tell you about this. Okay, I guess to wrap up this last point, doing things that make you uncomfortable, they are going to stretch you. Okay, yes, I remember. Every time you do something that's uncomfortable, you teach your body it's safe to do new things. What do you think will happen when it comes time for you to have your dream husband, for you to have the 10K months? Because your body has practiced, it's safe to have new things. It's safe to have new experiences. Your rubber band is going to be able to hold more abundance in its capacity because you've said yes and stretched it in other areas. So it is so important. It is one of the easiest things you can do. Inner work, it does not have to be you sitting down for 3 hours every day and journaling. It is you making decisions to say goodbye old identity, come on in new identity, we're going to play. It's so much easier than we think. All right. So kind of you to give him water. Thank you, girl. I have to. I cannot imagine running around outside. If I take my dog outside for 2 seconds, I'm exhausted. It is like they have laws here in the UAE that a lot of people cannot work during summertime, during the daytime when the sun is out, because it's not appropriate working conditions. Too hot. One of my clients, she's actually now one of my good girlfriends out here, and before I moved to Dubai, she would always tell me, Alexis, Dubai is interesting because it has an opposite seasonal depression. In the summer, everyone's depressed because no one wants to go outside, they're irritated, they're uncomfortable, but in the winter, when it's 80 degrees all day, everyone's happy, they're outside, they're not traveling, everyone's here in the city. Dubai, it's a little strange right now because it's empty. Like everyone's traveling, everyone's gone. And people, they want to lay on the couch with an iced water next to them. Okay. Okay, this is going to be the last question from here that I take, then I might take some from the chat. We're going to talk about something very, very important right now. Loving your appearance, not comparing your body, and feeling happy in your skin. So I had this realization when I first moved to Dubai. So this is about 1.5 years now. I had this realization where I'm driving. I think I had just gotten back from the Dubai Mall. I'm driving home. I have some shopping bags in the car. And this wave of sadness hits me like, this is never going to be enough. And what I mean by that is consumption is never going to be enough. Having the dream car, buying new jewelry, buying new clothes, there's always going to be a craving for more, more, more. And in Dubai, that is the culture. It's like consumption overload. I need to have the shiniest thing, the next thing, the best thing, the new thing. It was like my very first, when I first got my car here, my very first month driving around, I thought, this has to end now for me because it's like my eyes were open and I saw it's never going to be enough. I'm always going to want more. So how about I decide right now I'm happy with everything that I have. The clothes I have, the car that I have, the life that I have, I'm so happy. That moment changed my life. Because ever since then, I noticed that I had this slight habit to use shopping for comfort and to fill voids. And I saw it in that moment and I thought, it's happy for like a day and then after it's right back to how I was. So I decide right now, I'm happy. Any new dress that I buy, shoes that I buy, car that I buy, it's just a bonus. But that's not where my happiness comes from. And I know it, like I've heard people say this, but something about it shifted for me in that moment because I looked around, I'm like, everyone is in this mode of more, more, more. I'm happy now. When it comes to your body, same thing. I also had this recently. I thought, okay, I think I'll feel my best once I'm back to this weight. This was after getting back from the US. I ate a little more than I usually do in the US. I wasn't feeling my best and I thought, okay, once I'm back to this weight, I'll be happy again. And I'm like, whoa, no, Alexis, that's not how it works. Because even when you were that weight, you felt the exact same. This is where body dysmorphia comes in because we decide we'll be happy at this weight. Then when the weight comes and we don't feel different internally, our brain doesn't know how to cope with that. There's a dissonance there. And so it goes, wait, but we had this belief we'd be happy. Now we're not happy. Okay, well, maybe 5 less pounds, we'll be happy. Still not happy. Okay, we're freaking out. We look in the mirror, we're super skinny, but our mind is saying you're fat. That is where body dysmorphia comes in. And I'm going to need you to decide no more. I am happy now in my body. If I lose weight or if I gain weight, great. I know a lot of women too feel like they want to gain weight. They feel that their body is too skinny. They feel like my bones, I don't like this. I want you to know that even if you were to gain more weight, you would still be the same you inside. Your happiness is not dependent on external circumstances. So something else that I wanted to say on this. Where was it? Yes, your affirmations are, I'm happy now, I love my body now. Another important side of this is it is important to take care of your body. So I'm not saying just let your body go, do whatever. No, definitely, you ladies know. My top affirmation, like I even put it on our Glow Girl merch, is it is my honor to love and nourish my body. When you look at it as I want to nourish my body rather than I want to be skinny and have this perfect body, when the goal is nourishment, that is actually when you have your best body. Because now what happens is your subconscious is more likely to get you up and into the gym. It's more likely to say yes to going on walks. It's more likely to say, we're full, we don't need to overeat to fill this void. Or we want to choose a healthy meal because we want to feel good. We want our feminine energy to be electric. You're more likely to say yes to honoring and loving your body when that is your belief and your foundation. Versus if your belief is, I want to be skinny. Skinny talk is really trending on TikTok right now, and it makes me sad because if that is your affirmation, I want to be skinny, 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 you are going to struggle with food. You're going to struggle with working out because you're not doing it out of self-love. You're doing it out of self-hate. You cannot hate your body into being perfect. But you can love your body into feeling perfect, and then it will be perfect to you. What blows my mind is when I was in high school, I used to think, I wish that I was smaller. I wish that I was skinnier. I was like 100, I'm 5'9", I was 130 pounds in high school. That is so tiny compared to where I am today. Because I was in the modeling industry, I even had an agent say, Alexis, your hips just a little smaller, maybe try Pilates. I was 17 being told this, and it really messed with my mindset. I thought in high school, oh, I wish my body was better. I wish it was skinnier. Now, I was just cleaning up my camera roll on the plane when I was coming back from the US to Dubai. I was going back to my pictures from 2016, 2017, when I was 16 and 17. I'm like, Alexis, what in the world were you thinking? Your body was so nice. It was beautiful. So if at 16 and 17, I was like, oh, my body's not good enough. Fast forward almost 10 years later, I'm like, your body's perfect. Don't you think that you can do that right now? Don't you think you can jump to the 45, 65-year-old version of yourself and comfort and tell yourself your body's perfect? When you're our age, you're going to look back and say, why was I wishing that it was different? Your body is perfect. What if mirrors didn't exist? What if social media didn't exist? Would you still think that your body is not enough? You know what I love about Europe is the sculptures of the feminine body, because you can see the curves, you can see the thickness of the skin, you can see how women's bodies, they were so womanly. They had a little bit of gut. They didn't care, I need to have a six-pack, I need to have a perfect hourglass figure. No, the perfect body back then in like the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, it was a woman who was thick and curvy. She wasn't caring, okay, what's my waistline today? Did I lose 5 pounds? Am I bloated right now? They didn't even have the word bloated in their vocabulary. Like, what have we come to as a world where we are getting our looks from mirrors and social media when those were never meant to exist? When God created the world, he did not put mirrors in the Garden of Eden. He did not put social media amongst his people. He said, you are perfect because I have made you. If you are trying to change your body so much, you're actually questioning God and saying, you didn't do good enough of a job. How about you take care of the temple that he's given you? You decide it's perfect. I'm always going to do my best to make it the best that it can be. Maybe I feel I'm overweight right now. Okay, yeah, I will do some work to feel good again. Not to look good, but to feel good. Maybe I'm not eating enough because I've been so scared of looking a certain way. Is that loving to my body? No. How can I let a man love me if I don't even love me? How can I be the best business owner, the best coach, the best teacher online if I don't even love me? My girls who are in the glow print, I'm speaking to you. If you are hating on your body or your appearance or you're comparing it, that is blocking your coaching business. If you are hating on your body and you have a daughter that is watching you and you think that you're hiding that hate from her, she sees it. I promise you, she sees it. It's in the way that you look at yourself in the mirror. It's subtle comments that you make that you don't even notice. Why I'm so, like, when I first started realizing about a year ago, like, I need to love my body because it's so beautiful, it's so perfect. And also, this is the body God has given me. It's beautiful and perfect because He's given it to me, not because I'm a certain body shape or measurement or weight. Now I rarely use scales. But also I realize I owe it to my future daughter. I cannot wait to have a daughter one day, multiple daughters, I hope, and sons. And I owe it to my kids to give them a mom who teaches them, I love my body. I'm going to feed it in a way where it feels alive. I'm not going to make comments and shame it for having extra weight after having a baby because I just performed a miracle. I owe it to my future kids to love myself so that I can love them the best. This goes with any area of life. And so I really hope that this helps you if you're struggling with comparison, your appearance, your body. Like, this isn't just about your body, it's about your hair. It's about your eye color. It's about your skin, like everything. It's mind-blowing to me. Like, the beauty standard here in Dubai compared to America is so different. I feel so much more beautiful here in Dubai because they appreciate unique features. They appreciate different ethnicities, where sometimes in the US, I do feel like there's one beauty standard. And if women there just knew, go to another country and you will be the beauty standard, you would feel so differently. There are thousands of different beauty standards. So if you're holding yourself to one, change it up. All right, let's get into the chat now. So any questions that you ladies have, go ahead and throw them in, I'll answer them. Oh no, is there still static on the microphone? I don't know what to do about this. I have the iPhone 16 Pro Max. This, I thought it was the best phone, like the best audio, everything. Sorry, ladies, I don't know what to do about the static. I think it might just be something with YouTube because when I watch other creators that live stream, I also hear the static, but personally, it doesn't bother me. When are we getting another vlog? Hopefully soon. I don't have any coming up because I feel I've been gone so much from teaching about inner work. Right now, I'm like, okay, I just want to pour inner work back into YouTube, but we'll do a fun one. Dating apps, good or not? Okay, this is the fun one to talk about. I would go so back and forth about this, and there's a reason why I've never answered this on YouTube, because I needed to know the answer for myself. How I feel about dating apps, good, when you know how to use them correctly. Once I heard a statistic that close to 60% of relationships are started from online dating, whether meeting someone from social media or a dating app, I had to start to open my mind to say, you know what, okay, let me start to think, let me not be so against dating apps. I was so against them, ladies. I went to 2 weddings in February of my close girlfriends. One of them met her husband on Hinge. And when I saw them dancing after their wedding, I thought, you know what? Let me stop telling everyone that I'm so against them. Because even a lot of my clients would ask, should I use them? And I would say, I have to let you decide that because I just don't have a decision on it at this moment. I need to do more research. So I'm gonna say dating apps are great when you know how to use them correctly. That could be a whole other video in itself, or possibly in a future course. Just saying. Just saying without saying. Matcha or kombucha? Oh, I don't know if this is kombucha. I'm thinking it's matcha or kombucha. Kombucha, 100%. I wish that I had some today. Kombucha, because I love that it's a fermented tea that is so good for your gut. Matcha, it tastes good to me. I actually don't think matcha is good for my body. I had this crazy experience once where I was making a matcha latte. This was maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I felt God say, this is hurting your body. You know when sometimes God will whisper it to you? Like, he's done this a few times in my life where I hear him, I'm like, that came out of nowhere, and that definitely wasn't me because I want to drink this. I felt him say, this is hurting your body. And when I did more research on it, I found so many things about matcha, like it blocks iron absorption, it can cause anxiety if you're sensitive to anxiety. I do still drink matcha here and there. I love it, I love the taste, but for me, I have to find a very good quality one. That's very important. So there's less work, less stress with kombucha. I like it. Japanese culture is so harsh on female body hair. Interesting. I would say take a trip to Europe. Take a trip to France and you won't feel that it's so harsh anymore. That's the beautiful thing about traveling is it opens you up to say, I need to start questioning the rules that my culture has taught me. You'll see women walking around with hair on their armpits in France and other places in Europe. And that's why I encourage women, if you can, live outside of the country that you were born in. You will learn so much. You will question so many limiting beliefs that you've had. Dubai has really done that for me. And if you can't, I would say follow creators who are from a different culture, because then you can be in their energy and say, okay, this is normalizing this new belief. I don't have to listen to these people that are telling me arm hair is bad, body hair is bad. No, do I feel it's bad? Do I agree with this belief? If I do, okay, maybe I'll shave. If I don't, they can have their belief and I'm gonna have my hair. So that's that. I feel ashamed about my acne scars. Any tips? Girl, I've been here. I had so much acne in high school, all over my cheeks, my forehead. I still have some scars. You know what's so crazy is I was talking, so this is why I love, because it heals you. I was talking with a man and we were dating, and I had opened up to him about how insecure I was with my skin back in the day, because he was saying, I love when you don't wear makeup, you just have such nice skin. And I told him, you know, that really means a lot to me because I really struggled with this. Every time you compliment my skin, like it feels so different for me. And he said, why is that? And I said, well, I struggled with acne. I showed him the pictures. He was like, whoa, your skin looks so different. I was like, yeah, I went on Accutane. And then I told him I still feel a little bit self-conscious of the scars. And he looks at me, he's like, you know that you are the only one that sees the scars. And I don't think that they're there. I think you just remember them. I was like, I thought that was so powerful. And I knew that he was right because I had also studied ghost limbs. This was something that was so cool that I learned in psychology. And it was talking about how when, or not ghost limbs, I think the correct scientific name is phantom limbs. When someone loses a hand or an arm, sometimes they feel that that hand or arm is still there. Like they swear it still moves. They swear they see the shadow of it. The brain plays tricks on their mind to make them think it's still there because they're so used to seeing it and to having it. And I thought, okay, I understand this concept. I also understand how body dysmorphia works. You look at your body and it reflects back differently than how it actually is because your eyes are playing tricks on you. What if I'm doing this with my skin? And I did a lot of like self-care work because for me, I thought I feel really good when my skin is nice. I want to make my skin the best that it can be because this feels good for me. So I have invested in serums, like I have the Good Molecules discoloration serum that has helped my skin. I use tretinoin on my skin that's also helped the scars. I've done microneedling. I talk about all of these sorts of things in my vlogs. So if you want to know products that I'm using, things that I've dealt with, like acne and more self-care, like I would say like the girly things, watch my vlogs because I talk about that a lot more in there. I've invested in things to help clear my skin the most that it can be. But before I ever invested in things like microneedling and all these serums, I decided, skin, I love you. I love you because you're mine. I don't have any other skin. So yes, I'm going to make you the best that it can be, but even if you flare up, even if you have scars, I love you. And when I did that, my confidence came back and I wasn't worried. People are just looking at my skin when they're looking at me. No, I thought, yes, my skin's a part of me. Maybe they notice a scar. Who cares? Does it impact me? No. And guess what? People stop seeing them when you stop seeing them first. So I just want to let you know I really relate to you on this. And yeah, it's also okay to want to take care of something and make it the best. If you feel my skin isn't the best, do everything that you can to make it the best, but first decide that you love it regardless. I love this question. What hobby are you really into right now? Okay, I was just talking with someone about this last night, juicing. Juicing is my thing right now. I used to work at a pressed juice place when I had my first job, and I was obsessed. Like, if there was one job that I could ever have right now, I don't even need the paycheck from there. I would just work there for free because I love it. It would be at a pressed juice place, because people would come in and they would say, I'm struggling with my skin flaring up. My wife is having this liver issue, or I feel like I have a low libido. And I would say, I have the juice for you, because I would study nutrition so much and I knew what ingredients would help different organs and different functions in the body. I loved helping people heal naturally. I love holistic health. And so recently I got a juicer and I have been obsessed with it, learning how to clean the fruits and vegetables, peeling them, putting them in the juicer, experimenting with the taste, adding turmeric and black pepper, and seeing how long juices last, and just playing around with how can I make a juice that makes me feel electric. I would say that's my hobby. Yeah. Do you believe in chakras? No. I do believe that God has given us energy, and there's different energy in different parts of our bodies. I think that the New Age community has twisted this and renamed it and turned it into chakras. Did you fear hurting the man in your past relationship by leaving him? How did you do it? Yes, I did. I felt so guilty for breaking someone's heart, but I also thought about the longer I delay this, when I know we're not aligned, the more that's breaking his heart. And actually the more of a disservice this is doing to him. And also, I love him so much that I'm going to let him be free in the relationship that is meant for him. I also love myself so much to know that I deserve to be in a relationship that is aligned. And I had a bad habit of waiting for something bad to happen before initiating that conversation. And that's what's so great about dating, is you can practice. Like, if you want to end something, you have the conversation and you practice that. I know it can be so hard, but you're not responsible for other people's emotions. Imagine, okay, actually, let's put it this way. Let's say you're in a relationship with a guy and he won when he knows it's not working. Do you think that's kind of him to do? Or would you wish that he would just have the conversation with you and end it? So give him the same respect. My first time live with you. Girl, welcome. Okay. Ladies, I am going to run now. I'm going to make some lunch and then get ready for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I've loved being back with you and talking with you and just having our girl time. And thank you, as always, for sharing your time and your energy with me and the beautiful questions. And I share a lot of little inner work tips on Instagram. So also follow Instagram if you want daily inspiration and to see the behind the scenes of juices and new videos, everything like that. So thank you, ladies, for being here. I love you. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Have a beautiful day.